So welcome. Judith Murrell here, mindset coach, your personal hype woman, talking to, welcome back, Katrina, CEO of House of Crowns. So last time, in our previous video, I guess, where we talked about Katrina's journey into starting House of Crowns. So we're now excited to connect with her and find a little bit more about the progress so far and what that's looked like. So you want to share a little bit since we last spoken?
Definitely. So in the last week, I dropped 5 wigs on my Instagram page, and I've done a giveaway that hasn't expired yet, but I've just presented a giveaway to my followers. And yeah, that's it so far.
So just so to recap, if you didn't catch the first video, we were pretty much talking about how Katrina went from not doing anything really to be creating a home company and creating a business, creating custom wigs that today her new look, she's wearing one of her beautiful pieces too.
I've got Megan on. She's kind of burgundy.
Yeah. Pretty, very pretty. So a lot of what we talked about last time is about the mindset, about how you decide that you're going to create a business, or how you start, but then you talk yourself out and then you all that. So since you've started, I know in the beginning you talked about really worried to do it and didn't have the right money and things weren't lining up how you wanted to. Mm-hmm. And then you took that leap of faith and jumped in. So give us an idea of how you've been feeling since you jumped in. The good, the bad, and the ugly, as they say.
Very nervous. I think that it's just a piece of the vulnerability because you are expecting like the public and your target audience to approve of your work, and just trying to stay patient with the process. I'm only like a couple weeks in, and I'm just kind of like, why isn't this happening, or where's this, and just doing too much too soon and not really just stopping to really appreciate where I'm coming from and where I'm at right now, and really just enjoying watching my business start up and grow. Yeah, I think that just basically just trying to stay positive and trying to stay patient is my 2 P's right now, is patient and positive.
I like that, patient and positive.
Yeah.
And they're very important.
They are very important.
We expect that instant results.
Overnight
success, but everything is a journey and everything is about figuring out and having a plan and staying focused on that.
Definitely.
So I know since then we've sat down and we've talked about it. Can you share some of the challenges that you've experienced when you were in the last couple of weeks about your business? I know you weren't sure, and there was still a bit of an area of comparison piece that was there too.
I think the comparison piece is gonna stay there as long as I stay on social media, because you always will have somebody else popping up on your feed, or because I'm always looking at the next what to recreate, just ideas, and just obviously admiring other people's work. That's always gonna be there, but I think I need to be able to just draw the line in the sand and be like, okay, this is their journey, they've been doing this. I don't have to compare what I've just began to do. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I think it's just being able to separate that, and I can still appreciate without downplaying what I've been doing.
So that's growth too.
Yeah, definitely.
That's definitely growth. So do you recognize yourself now to where you were a couple of weeks ago?
110%. The growth is crazy. I've never been more proud of myself, just basically sticking to it, and really just hopping over that first terrier barrier for sure, because that one, I felt like that one was going to be the one to knock me out. And just getting over that one, when I have small ones pop up, it's easier to now jump over it.
Yeah.
Because I felt like I got over the biggest thing, which for me was starting the company.
Of course.
And then everything else was just kind of like, okay, little, you get over it. You're, just keep going. And like you could tell me, you would just say, keep going. And even when I do have a little bit of doubts, like the money portion, I'm sorry, I remember, a money portion of it.
Yeah.
As my twin sister likes to say, she's like, money's just a construct. It's terrible, but I always have to think positive, because this is going towards my business and this is what's going to help me get to where I need to be. So I need to be comfortable and being able to trust myself that this is for a reason. I'm not just doing it just to throw money on the ground. I'm doing it because it's going to help me build my business.
So we talked about a little bit before about money being energy, and so what do I mean by that? So money is a form of energy. So energy, like everything, has to move, has to have ebbs and flows, has to come in and out. So if you're having your money mindset is, I got to save, I don't have enough, don't spend it. That's how you limit yourself, and that's how you have your limiting beliefs about what money can do for you. If you step out on faith and say, money is energy, to create money, you have to spend money.
Exactly.
And in order to do that, you have to release and let go. And that's also the belief that, oh, my savings, or I'm keeping it, or, it's not growing and you're not growing. I think money is synonymous with yourself too, right? So if you're not growing and you're not spending your money, you're not growing as well.
Yeah.
So I know it's a very challenging, one of the biggest issues I know that most of my clients have is the money mindset, because money is up there with oxygen. Everybody needs it. So when it's that lack, but I'm sure I know you would have heard, but I heard growing up is save your money for a rainy day, keep your money in the savings account, but no one told you why. And then what happens, right? So now we're saying, okay, spend that money. So you've got all these beliefs about what money's supposed to do. Stay in the bank, stay safe. Your TFSA, I think that was one of the things you came to me. It's like, oh my God, my money is going down. And I'm like, but your business is going up. And stepping out on that and believing that too. And you really have to stay, we talked about that, about keeping to your plan.
Yeah, staying committed for sure.
And your vision, the small wins, to keep you moving forward. You keep doing that, the money will come.
Yeah.
It's just the law of the universe. Ebbs and flows. As the tide goes out, it may seem really, really far, really, really far.
But it's got to come back in.
But it's got to come back in. And that's how money is with energy. And if you keep true to the process, it will come back. And you have to stop looking for it all the time. You just have to keep focused on your vision. So we talked about the small wins.
Definitely.
So the small wins you had shared that make you feel more positive.
Yeah.
Why are you smiling?
No, because it's not, I think, again, it's just the growing piece, because it's not what I would have thought it was. The small wins is not what I thought it was in the beginning before I started. I think now for me it's really just the small wins. So just having people message me about my work, I'm taking it as a small win. Not even a small win for me, it's a big work, because it's that approval. If you like my work and they're interested in buying from me, and the followers, and just people liking it. So I really think it's the small wins. But if you would have asked me a while ago what a small win was, small would have been like, 500 followers in 2 days, 60K in sales, like so unrealistic. I never really thought, breaking it down, you know what I mean? So I think that really just came with the growth portion of it, and really just admiring the process and just
enjoying the process,
and just really
staying in the process, rather than just looking around and having these expectations. And it's always natural. Yeah, you think that you drop today and tomorrow you're a millionaire.
Yeah, and even just approving yourself in my craft, small wins. Yeah, notice different things every time I do one. Every time I customize one, small wins. And knowing. Just expanding the knowledge portion for sure is what I would say.
And the patience piece, because it's all of like 3 weeks to cut.
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
So when you think of and you see your journey, what you've accomplished in that time. So talk about, yes, you've created the beautiful wigs and you've done the Instagram, but tell me about your branding and your marketing. Tell me about all those things that you've accomplished in this time that you've not even really giving yourself that credit for.
Yeah, definitely.
Right?
So I post on social media, post on a few Facebook pages that you allowed me to, thank you. And I did promotions on Instagram. I've done 2 or 3 promotions on Instagram. I haven't done this yet, but I'm looking to, I also created TikToks. a TikTok. I have to stay consistent. Apparently people like those. Stay consistent in that for the marketing portion. And then I'm also going to be doing brand ambassadoring. Seek out brand ambassadors for my business. So I haven't rolled that one out yet, but in the next week or so, having that roll out and just trying to just get people's... Oh, I have a giveaway also, marketing giveaway. So get people to tag other people, post on their shares, on their story, and just kind of little things. I'm still trying to figure out what's the best way, because I don't think there is a best way, but I'm just trying to do a little bit of everything, because I'm personally not on Facebook so often. So Mom allowed me to use her Facebook and some of the groups that Mom was in, and then using the TikTok. Not really on TikTok often, but people really enjoy 30 seconds or 60 seconds worth of things. So I just put complications of the wigs that I had at the time on there, and really just trying to just get it in the public eye. As long as people see it, they engage in it, even if it's a profile visit, they know about me. You know what I mean? So
how does it make you feel when you do all that?
Truthfully, work. I'm maybe nervous.
Of course.
Because now
you're growing.
Growing. Everyone's seeing
Changing.
it. It's not just in my head and my friends and family know about it. It's strangers that are asking me. It's work and it's nervous.
So we talked about the terrier barrier, and what that means is when you are doing something that's outside of your comfort zone that you've never done before, all of a sudden you literally are paralyzed with fear, and it prevents you from actually moving forward. And a lot of people don't like that feeling so much that they don't they don't make a pass, they don't create the dream, they don't do the business, they don't do anything, they just stay where they are. The other thing about, not the terrier barrier, but the cousin of it, is the nervousness. Like every time you're doing something, you're nervous. And that's still an extension of the terrier barrier, because you're doing things that you're not accustomed to doing. And that means you're growing, because it means you've never done that before. Right. So that's always, you're moving in the right direction. Because if it felt comfortable, like where you were a few weeks ago, like you weren't doing anything, that was great. Right? And here we are now, CEO, branded, website, all of that stuff done together. But just generally a whole marketing package, promotions, beautiful wigs, custom, all of that. Just a change of one idea, one conversation. Yeah, seriously. Seriously. So it's really interesting to see what you can do when you decide to make something work for you. The other piece is that as long as you commit and stay with what you're working on, you truly love the process, you can't fail. You just won't, because you're so involved in it. And it makes you excited to do the wigs, and definitely it creates that feeling that you want to do more. And as long as you stay in that energy, you will continue and you will succeed. It's the minute you stop. Definitely. So we were talking the other day, and you're like, okay, about not standing still, because you were saying that there were some things that you kind of reached to the end of what you could do. And I was like, no, you haven't. Go back. Revisit your goals. Go look at what you want to achieve. Go and see how many followers you want. Go and see how many brand ambassadors. You're always creating, and as long as you're creating in your business, you will feel like you're moving forward. But the day you're just like, oh, I don't know what to do, that's when terror barrier comes in, and then you start saying, I'm not good enough, and this is a stupid idea, and then you walk away from your dream. So the good thing is that we talk about it when you hit in those kind of curves, and I'm just like, hey, have you thought about this? And you've thought about that, and then you go back in the lab, and I hear the machine going again. So it's a beautiful thing. So tell me a few things that maybe 5 things, that you've learned about yourself in that time, that you didn't know possibly before.
My patience is worse than I thought it was.
Fair enough.
Is that I can stay committed. That I'm more creative than I give myself.
Amazing.
I'm more determined than I give myself credit for. And I think the fifth one would be, just honestly, just the trusting myself fully. That I didn't really know about myself. Just being able to really, you trust yourself till you're in the uncomfortable position and you're kind of doubting your abilities. You know, you trust yourself to the extent where it's outside of your comfort zone. You're like, maybe we shouldn't do that because you don't really know. Yeah. But being able to be like, no, go ahead and do it. Like, do it. Yeah. I know it's foreign. I know it's different, but go ahead. Yeah. You know. So I think those would definitely be the 5 things.
So I think that is amazing, and that's how you stay in the energy of creating your business. You write those things out. I'm a huge proponent of writing things down. I know we've talked about visions and goals, and you're like, no, I've got that in my mind, what I need to do. But there is a scientific fact that shows this between like 65 and 85% that if you write down your goals, you will achieve them rather than just have them in your mind.
Yeah, I think I do enjoy writing things down, but for me personally, I like the 50-50, so I will have it down. But I think just having a conversation with myself, and it's crazy, but out loud, works for me, because when I did write my goals down, I was able to just kind of flip the page. And that's kind of what prevented me from moving forward in the first place, because I did have my goals written down to start the business and to get the sewing machine, but it didn't move past that. And then to actually have the conversation, not only with you, but then to myself, like in the shower or while driving or just working, I'm talking to myself and talking just out loud. And that was what I needed, was that energy. It was really weird because I, if you talk to me about anything work, I need to write things down. I'm not really a computer person, but that's something else that I've learned about myself, is that I do need that verbal that verbal affirmation, conversation, because the writing down portion gets me there, but it doesn't keep me locked. It just keeps me comfortable, so to speak. It keeps me still on that page.
Interesting.
You know what I mean?
So, and I think as long as you get to the place that you want to go to, the method doesn't matter, as long as you can get to where you're going 100%. To. Another way of pulling it outside of the book is putting sticky notes around you, or putting things visually that when you're coming into your space and you're working, you know exactly what the goal. So that is another piece. That's, I know it's in a book, you close the book and you've gone.
No, but sticky notes.
Sticky notes is always a great way of keeping you
new
goals. A little reminder about you know why you're here, what you're trying to achieve, what does that look like, and it helps you keep and stay in that moment. Definitely. Because you can't help but see it all the time, because you keep going past it all the time. It's like when I try not to go in the fridge for food and I put the note on the fridge and like, why are you eating this? And I'll take the sticky off. Because you just don't want to be reminded. Right. Because there's some accountability that goes along with that, right? So that's interesting. So you shared about 5 things you learned about yourself. Tell us a few more things that you thought about a business, what a business would be, but you didn't actually, when you got into it, it was nothing like what you thought it would be. When you actually started the business, did you think it all the way through? Did anything come up? You're like, oh my God, I didn't even realize about that. Or was it just really about your mindset around the business?
I think it was just my mind. I do know, sort of shout out to university, I do know some inner workings of a small business and stuff. Right. I did know a few of the steps. I did know what was required to be put in there. Again, but for me personally, it was, how do we get there though? You know, and knowing that I do need to reach A, B, and C, D, but you have to start to get to A, B, C, D. It's not just gonna happen. And when we were talking before and you told me to break down my goals, completely, the marketing portion didn't even, it was just, and I was like, oh shoot, let's do that one. And just honestly, I knew it was gonna be, you have to keep up with it, keep up with it, be consistent. People like consistency. Of course. I think that consistency part, because I'm already impatient, so I'm ready working. I'm already working towards that part, but I'm not really looking at the details. You know what I mean? So I think just pay attention to the small details, i.e. the brand ambassador. I thought it through, but I didn't really think to do it. Because we talked about it in the beginning.
Yes.
And then it was written down and everything, names on the piece of paper, and then I just
Close
the
the
piece
book,
of paper.
which is what we talked about. Actually, keep going back to the beginning. Anything that you do, and that's the power of the writing down. Because it's a good thing that it's in the book, and it's also a bad thing because if you close your book and you don't go back to your book, then you're missing that. And that's why you do write it down and you go back to the beginning of your journey. First of all, I think when you started a business a few weeks ago, where you are and where you are now, that blows your mind.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? And then you keep going through and you say, oh, maybe I missed that. So it's really just going through everything that you've written down and then pulling those things out that you want to achieve on the sticky notes to kind of keep you accountable. So we're coming up to the end of our wonderful interview, so I'm going to allow Katrina, CEO of House of Crowns, to do a shameless plug for a few minutes to say how you can find her.
Definitely. Definitely.
You got it. Go ahead.
So it's the House of Crowns on Instagram. It's HOUZ of Crowns. And we do, again, customized wigs and pre-made wigs with the best hair. Get into it. But yeah.
So thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, and enjoy the rest of your day. And again, you can find me, Judith Murrell, Mindset Coach, on Instagram or Facebook, and connect with me. Share with me, comment below if you enjoyed our video, or if there's other topics that you'd like me to talk about. Stay safe and talk soon.